guys, welcome to Pop Culture Baking Class. Like most people, I love a crystal. And not only are crystals beautiful, but they're super healing. For me, there's nothing quite as healing as a cheesecake. So I thought, why not combine the two and make some beautiful, edible crystal cheesecakes? Let's get started. Okay, so first we want to make the crust for our cheesecakes. So I've got some chocolate wafers here. I'm just going to pop them straight into our food processor. Okay, you can pulse your crumbs if there's a little couple of lumps left. That'll just help you get like a nice sandy consistency. Mine's looking good, so I'm gonna add my tablespoon of sugar and just a little pinch of salt. Great, now I'm gonna add my melted butter. Now my crumb is ready to go into the mold, so I'm just going to put about a tablespoon or a dessert spoon into each of my little cheesecake molds and pat it down my finger just so it's nice and firm, and then it's gonna hold your cheesecake mix really well once it's in the oven. Now I have all my bases filled, I'm gonna pop them in the oven to bake. Meanwhile, I'm gonna get on with making our crystals. The first thing I'm gonna do is pop my water and my light corn syrup, hot, very hot, and my sugar in a pan. The way we do this, we're just gonna mix them together and keep them, I've got them on a really high temperature here, and we're looking for it to reach 290 degrees in the pan. All the sugar, there's a lot of sugar. And now I'm just watching my sugar thermometer, and I'm looking for it to reach 290, and that'll sort of gradually happen over time, so you wanna keep a real hawk eye on your pan. Okay, we're there. We're at 290, so you wanna take your syrup off the heat, and just whip out your candy thermometer. Be really careful because everything around here is gonna be boiling hot. You don't wanna get any of the syrup on your hands just yet. So I have my food coloring here. I'm gonna pop in about half a teaspoon so it matches my cheesecakes that are baking in the oven. Okay, and then straight onto your sheet pan. Tilt your pan, spread it around the tray a little bit. So I've lined this tray with some grease-proof paper and some non-stick spray, just so that once my crystals have hardened and I'm ready to take them out, they're gonna come out much easier than if I didn't. Okay, so be careful because the tray's now really hot from the syrup. So I've got a tea towel here and I'm just gonna bash the tray on the side a little bit, just in case there's any air bubbles that I just wanna get out. Now that's all laid out, I'm gonna set this aside to completely cool and harden, and then I'm gonna repeat the process for my other colors of crystals to match my cheesecakes. Also, I would recommend not putting your crystals in the fridge to harden because they'll go sticky in the fridge. You want them just literally at room temperature. So while our crystal candies harden, it's time to start making our creamy, delicious cheesecake batter. So it's best to start with room temperature cream cheese, as that's just gonna make a smoother, creamier batter. I'm gonna pop it straight into my mixer. There we go. And then I'm gonna add my sugar and my honey. Great, now let's just scrape down the sides of the bowl. Okay, so now it's time to add our eggs. I'm just gonna add them one at a time. It's looking good. You don't wanna mix your batter too much, because if you get too much air in there, then your cheesecakes are gonna rise, then they might fall and crack, and you don't want that. It's looking good. So now my cheesecake batter is ready to roll. I'm gonna just take it out of the mixer and start to color it. Okay, I'm gonna split it between 3 bowls. Okay, so let's start with the green. I'm just gonna use a really small amount at first. My mum always used to make this amazing like cheesecake. It had a brownie bottom and then like this creamy layer and a raspberry thing on top. So I thought with this recipe, it'd be really nice to take the chocolate layer that she used to make in my birthday cheesecake and incorporate it into our crystal ones. So our cheesecake crusts are out of the oven. They're nice and cooled, so it's time to fill them with our filling. I'm gonna start with the purple, and I'm just gonna pop 1 scoop into each cheesecake. Perfect. So I'm using an ice cream scoop just because it's nice and easy. It's a little less messy than trying to squeeze them in with a spoon. So I'll just finish the last purple one off. Yum. Right, so now I'm gonna start with my blue. Great, so now we're ready to finish off with the green. Okay, so these are ready to go in the oven. I'm gonna pop them in for 8 minutes until they're just perfectly wobbly and set in the middle. Now I'm gonna move on to removing my cheesecakes from their molds. Now I have a paring knife here just in case there's any sort of sticky bits around the edges, but I would say first, just try and push them out of the bottom of the pan. There we go. If you don't have one of these pans, then you could use like a mini cupcake liner in a normal cupcake pan. But these are great because you get this beautiful kind of smooth edge. So our crystals have hardened. They're at the perfect stage now to start cracking them. You can tell by just giving it like a little tap. It sounds like it would if I was tapping this. They're looking pretty great. They're like shiny and hard and ready to go. So I'm just gonna lift up the grease-proof paper at the corner here and then sort of slide my hand under, and then you can just literally break it with your hands. Wow, I mean, you can see the light just reflecting off them. They look so beautiful. I mean, honestly, I'd believe you if you told me these were real. Wow, look at that. That's incredible. It's like your own, very own crystal shard. Okay, so I've got my edible gold luster dust and then just a little bit of lemon extract and a paintbrush. And I'll dip my paintbrush into the lemon extract and then into the luster, and then you can just kind of dab it on around the edge. So let's do one now. Wow. And you can just put it around the edges. So we're gonna be doing this to all of my crystals, the blue and the green. They're all gonna be with gold. And it's really sweet because they're all different colors, but this kind of unifies them, which is really nice, I think. And then once you've done all the edges, you can even dab a little bit into the center of the crystal. We're ready to break up our last crystal. So I've got my green sugar crystal sheet here. It's ready to crack, ready to roll. So I'm just gonna pull up the grease proof and again, break with my hands. Super simple. And these, do you know what? These would be pretty good for Christmas time as well. They look kind of festive. And then we'll just finish it off around the edges with a little extra dash of gold. It's time to decorate our cheesecakes. So I have my finished crystals here and my finished cheesecakes ready to be decorated. So I'm gonna take my purple crystals, my purple cheesecakes, and I'm just gonna use a variety of sizes, different sort of maybe like 3 to 4 crystals in each cheesecake. And I'm using the flat-sided edge to actually press into the cheesecake, so that's gonna make it more stable, and then we get this beautiful point, this tip here, which is gorgeous. So when you're popping your crystals in, just be careful you don't push them too far in case the actual cheesecake splits a bit. And I'm just looking for a sort of variety of sizes. You don't want to have like 3 massive ones. Don't they look amazing? This is such a sweet way to present your cheesecakes. It's beautiful because you can carry it around a party, everyone can help themselves, and they just look fab. Wow, so proud of them. So there you have it, mini crystal cheesecakes.